Okay.
Including the only do this. We don't do it, you know? That's just like one sentence.
Okay, so I'm gonna review really quickly.
Yes. You do the same as the first, where you don't do the same.
Okay, so really quickly, you've got your essay, you've got your introduction paragraph, okay? You've done your hook, you've introduced the issue, which is just the background, Alex and Pearson stuff. You've got your thesis statement. Then we have our first body paragraph. That is the opposite opinion. So if I'm writing my paper saying, oh, Nicholas, can you slide to the right so they can see the...
Wait,
I think they can.
I'm not in the
Okay,
way.
they still see it? Okay, fine.
Yeah, Liam, you're
Sorry.
in the way.
All right, sorry. So, your opposite opinion for your first body paragraph, okay? You need to provide a topic sentence. So you could say something like, many people believe, or it is a common held view, or some would suggest that America should not enter the war. Remember, that's the opposite opinion for your first body paragraph. One reason for this is because the cost of going to war did not improve America financially. And remember, you're looking at this pro and con of going to war. So think of it as the bold would be the evidence, and then the specifics, the bridge, or the bridge really means you're explaining your evidence. So you would look underneath the bold because it goes more in depth talking about it. So then I would say specifically, I would give a specific example. So we know specifically America spent $2 billion in loans, and they were spending more money on artillery. And then your conclusion sentence, you could say in conclusion, to conclude, you're tying it all back by restating your topic sentence. And you've got your second body paragraph. And that should be your opinion. You're finishing your paper with your opinion. So now I'm going to tie together. So you need some type of transitions word. So you can do however or in contrast. It is best, or the best decision was America to go to war. It is best America goes to war, or did go to war. Evidence, one reason, so I'm going to go back to this pro and con list. One reason for going to war might be potential threat of America in the future, of American land, or America needed defense of its land and people. And then I would explain that, I would go to the bridge and just explain the evidence. So I would say specifically, Germany's sinking of Lusitania would lead to concern of future threat. And then again, your conclusion. In conclusion, to conclude, you're tying it back by restating your topic sentence. Your thesis statement is only a restatement, and you're not doing, what is the one above this one? So you're going to see the outline. What is it's above the concluding paragraph, what does it say on the paper? We're not doing it, but what does it say?
Wait, do you do a whole sentence for the, or
Just
a whole
one sentence.
paragraph for the?
That's it, Because we're only doing 3 paragraphs, and then I just wanted you to provide one sentence at the end. So you're not doing the counter argument part. You're only doing the introduction paragraph, the first body paragraph, and the second body paragraph. For your conclusion paragraph, you're not doing key point review, and you're not doing lead your thinking. You're only doing one sentence for conclusion. This one sentence is your restatement of your thesis. So you could say ultimately, I might say ultimately, it is best for the world, I'm trying to think, for the world that America chose to fight. Period. And that's it. So when you put this in your paper, Alex, stop messing with Pearson. Pearson, you need to focus because you're behind. Okay, so you are only putting this one sentence at the end of your paper. You would click tab just like you would starting out your new paragraph, and then that's it. Once you finish typing, you need to make sure that you send your paper to me. So you go to your paper, you click share, you would type in my name. Before you type in my name though, go down here and make sure that it's not Convo Academy. You'd click anybody with link, and then you can go here and type my name. And then yours will say click send. Alright. Once you have done that, then you can go on to the debate part with your partner. So I'm going to go to that slide really quick. Okay. So, these are the slides that you have, okay? I can resend this to you guys if you need me to, but you should have access to the slide. You're going to make sure that you have all this part either written out or filled out. So, and then we'll do a practice round where each team will come up and they'll practice reading through this. But you just need to make sure you give your position. So if my teammate and I are up here, we would say, I was given the side of anti-entry. So I would start out by saying, we believe it is best that America does not go to war. Our opponents, or the opposing view, would be that we should go to war. One reason for this is they believe America needed their land to be defended. We would disagree. We believe it is best America does not go to war because it costs more money than provided gain. Alex, don't touch it. This happened to you last time. It was bad. And one specific way we can prove that is it costs tons of money to create weapons and supplies, and it wasn't necessary for all of those weapons and supplies. A question we would have for our opposing team would be, let me think of the question. What is the benefit of us fighting on Europe's behalf if it's not our war? Okay, that might be a question I would ask the other team. That is how your group is going to go through it. So you need to make sure you've got all of this either written out somewhere. If you want me to send you this again so you can type it out, I can do that too. So when you are finished and you have emailed me your paper, you are doing this with your team. Once you finish this with your teammate, and you've shown me, hey, we filled this all out, we wrote this all out, and you know who's saying what, I'll show you what you're doing next.
Can I get a note card?
Yes. Oh, yeah. Yes. What's up?
I sent you my paper.
Oh, you said.
And me and Maddie on
Yeah, my
the
name is
show
Lisa.
yesterday, right?
What'd you say?
Didn't me and Maddie on the show yesterday?
Oh, yeah, the slides, are you done? You've done all this? Okay, so I would just suggest maybe getting together and saying, you feel good about saying this part, not me saying this part? And then once you've got that, I'll explain what you're doing next. Yes?
Well, I'm still working on it.
Okay.
So do I need to finish my paper?
Yeah, I would say finish your paper. If you have other work, maybe then, so she's ready. Yes. So now you're gonna start typing. Did you write your, so you're not doing your counter argument, you're just doing it, you're restating your thesis and then that's it. So your concluding sentence, you're just gonna say ultimately or to conclude or in conclusion, and you're gonna go back to your thesis and restate it or reword it. And right here, just that thesis claim, that's that one last sentence you do.
So is that just saying why?
It's like tying it all, yeah, so you're going back to your thesis, so you'd say ultimately, and you just restate your thesis again. Okay.
So the first one, I typed the part and then I did the, like, when you talk about things like that. And then the second one,
Your opinion.
your second, and then
So this, all you're doing is you would say ultimately, or to conclude, or finally, lastly, and then you go to your thesis statement and you just reword it. And your thesis is in your introduction paragraph, so it's the last sentence.
I changed.
Did you,
That's
okay?
it's not the same.
Okay, America should. Okay, so all you do is you reword this.